Film Club.
Thank you very much for joining us for another episode of Film Club. I'm one of your hosts, Andy Harrison, and with me, as always, it's Andy Donaldson.
Hello.
Every week in Film Club, we invite you along to watch a film with us, and this week we are taking a look at Terminator 2, Judgment Day.
We're finally doing it. Terminator 2 Judgment Day is a story about Sarah Connor growing up with a kid, John Connor. John Connor, the infamous, the one who leads them all in the future. He's a bit of a rebel. His mum's in a mental hospital because she's telling everyone about, the world's going to end, Judgment Day. And then two Terminators come. It's like a story of survival, as is Terminator, but in this case, we have a Terminator protecting us. Oh my God. This is one of those rare films where the sequel is better than the original.
It's bigger, but it's also more refined. The nuclear blast going off and some of the visual effects there. And the big thing, obviously, for Terminator 2 really was its absolute showcase of VFX at the time. Because after Terminator 1 hit, and obviously it's a huge success, James Cameron already had this idea for Terminator 2, started working on it very quickly. And the thing that postponed them quite a while, I think it's 7 years between Terminator 1 and Terminator 2. The thing that stopped them from rolling straight into production on it was effects. Now, James Cameron loves to tell people that he had to wait for technology to catch up with him, which, I'm dubious about at the best of times, but here, if he didn't necessarily have to wait, I'm kind of glad that he did wait, because they are very restrained in how they use the T-1000's liquid effect. And in that restraint, it means that what they're able to do is they're able to pull it off a little better. It's kind of like Jurassic Park in that respect. Like Jurassic Park and Terminator 2, they're very sort of restrained in how they use their digital effects. And that's why they're better for them. They do a lot of physical integration, lots of like little physical elements that help sell you on the believability of those effects.
I believe that this is aged well. Even the T-1000.
They've aged really well. The whole film looks absolutely gorgeous. And we've got Brad Fiedel back for the music.
Oh, God. His use of percussion is sublime. There's that chase when he's getting chased by down the kind of river, the concrete riverbed. The percussion of that drums and that chase is it's phenomenal. It's just intense. Keeps you on edge.
And then across the board, you've got that same sort of cast of wonderful performances. Arnold Schwarzenegger, Linda Hamilton, sort of like nailing it again. Linda Hamilton becomes this like absolute badass, like we talked about last week. And that's really sort of the image of Sarah Connor that has solidified in people's minds to this day.
And her transition from the first film to this is class. And then she's just badass. And it's the way that she's in the hospital and she's playing mind games with the doctor and everything. And she's just, she's one of the most terrifying things about the film, like her hatred of humanity because she's got nothing to lose.
Can we appreciate the catharsis of her eventually smacking that orderly in the face?
I forgot how much of a badass she was. Like, she should be on Broforce.
And then, who else should be on Broforce but Arnold Schwarzenegger? Because Arnold Schwarzenegger, once again, as the Terminator, here, he's a little softer. He is a bit more human in this film.
And he's like, why do you cry and stuff, isn't he?
There's a plot element about them like turning on his learning chip. I've noticed from the very beginning he is softer. They sort of play him a little bit more human.
One of the moments at the end that really caught me, and I don't think I've ever really truly appreciated before, is when he's just about to be like put down into the thing. He's like, my brain is the other CPU that needs to be destroyed, and he gives John Connor a hug, and he's like, I was thinking, oh my God, like this is Arnie, and I'm not nothing against Arnie, but this is Arnie as we know him, like the action hero, like being proper like sentimental, being like as a fucking playing a fucking Terminator, being sent. I was like blown away. It was like the whole kind of like, oh shit.
I know now why you cry, but it's something I can never do.
We saw him in American History X, Edward Furlong. He played the rebel really well. He's got that horrible kind of like what I would call an emo cut nowadays. It's just like kind of in your face, like proper 90s.
He's a 10-year-old boy that would inspire thousands of boy bands to come.
And then you're right, I need to give a shout out. His mate at the start of the film, his mate is absolutely like
With the
proper
mullet.
boss mate. Oh my god, the ginger mullet! Like it's just like it's so nice.
For me, Edward Furlong in this is hit and miss. Sometimes he really works, and other times it's a mixture of his delivery and his dialogue that sort of clashes a little bit. The other big one that you mentioned earlier at the beginning, it's Robert Patrick, who
he's so underrated.
As the T-1000, he has a very difficult role to play because for the first half of this film, he has to appear almost more human than Arnold Schwarzenegger does. And then those roles as the film go on start to sort of reverse. He has to become a bit more robotic at times. And Arnold Schwarzenegger is the one who has to become a bit more human.
You said last week about how it's hard to find someone as imposing as Arnie. You found him. That stare, that endless eye, that dead eye stare that he has towards everything, that determination to terminate is incredible.
I love the first part of the film. He's sort of trying to trick the audience for a while because Terminator 2 has one of the greatest unseen twists in cinema. Because unfortunately, no one has ever got to experience the real twist of Terminator 2. Even when this film was put out in theaters, the trailer for it a few months prior had already ruined the twist for everybody going in. So if anybody's not sure, because it is difficult to watch this film without knowing it. In fact, this was the first time that Natalie had ever seen it, and she already knew the twist going in. So the twist, if anybody's not sure, is that Arnold Schwarzenegger has been sent back as a defensive
Friendly
Terminator to look after John Connor. And the first, 15 minutes of the film, however long it is, when they're both first sent back, you're meant to question which one's which. It's meant to be that sequence in the corridor where Arnold takes out the shotgun and the roses drop to the floor. That's meant to be the moment where you realize that he's actually not there to kill John Connor, and he's there to protect him from the T-1000. And no one has ever got to experience that twist. How sad is that?
It's such a shame. It's so sad. Did you see a nice little cameo by Hank Schrader?
Yeah, I did. Funny enough, I saw it and I was like, hang on, is that Hank? Because I've just finished rewatching Breaking Bad.
Oh, really? All right. Okay. So I hadn't. And I heard the voice. It's like, get out. And I was like, holy fuck, that's Dean Norris who plays Hank Schrader.
One other little minor role that I want to point out is Don and Dan Stanton. These guys are the twins who play the T-1000 at one point when he's looking at himself. And these guys pop up in a couple of films, most notably a film that we will get to one day, I promise you, Gremlins 2.
They're actually twins, in like two separate people. I thought it was just like really good effects.
Yep, no, that's twins.
Oh man, I like that, mate.
Worth noting, by the way, that this at the time was the most expensive film ever made.
Really? I've got here 94 to 102 million.
And it went on to become the highest grossing film of 1991.
520 million. I mean, I paid for it over the weekend, so there's 250 towards the overall box office revenue.
Just knock that on top. So there is Terminator 2 Judgment Day. You can let us know in the comments below what you thought of Terminator 2, or you can hit us up on Twitter, as always. But Andy and I are going to be back once again next week, where we're going to take a look at not Terminator 3. I'm afraid we're done with Terminator for a little bit. We're changing it up. We're going with the Bicycle Thieves.
Hasta la vista, baby.